Yo, what's up with y'all, man? I hope you're doing good. If you're new and you're a fan of the NBA, subscribe to this channel. So let's get straight into it. Minnesota Timberwolves, the Milwaukee Bucks, the Boston Celtics, the Philadelphia 76ers. Those are the teams we typically talk about when it comes to who's going to be great in the future and who's going to be the top dogs running the league in a few years. But there are two specific teams that I want to talk about today because I feel like what they have been doing has gone under the radar and has been overlooked by many. These two teams that I'm about to mention,
hey y'all, come look at this,
are the Chicago Bulls and the Sacramento Kings. Before you go ahead and try to laugh at me or whatever, let me go ahead and explain myself first. Let's start off with the Bulls. Now, at the beginning of the season, I'm not gonna lie, I thought the Bulls were gonna be the worst team in the NBA, considering the fact that the best asset that they got out of the Jimmy Butler trade was injured and was recovering from an ACL tear, Zach LaVine. So I thought they were screwed, and in my mind, they were gonna be the laughing stock of the NBA. But here we are 8 months later, and I'm telling y'all how this team will be great in the future. That's crazy! The Bulls are currently on track to become one of the best teams in the NBA in a few years. Not anytime too soon, that's not what I'm saying. What I mean by that is that they're just a couple years away from becoming an all-around great team. So let's talk about the Bulls rebuild since trading away Jimmy Butler for a quick second. When the Bulls made that draft night trade involving all-star Jimmy Butler for an injured Zach LaVine, a questionable young point guard Chris Dunn who was looking like a bust, and also the 7th pick in the 2017 NBA draft that ended up being Larry Markkinen. When the Bulls made that trade, literally everybody and their mama was on their neck. And nearly every single NBA fan was saying that they got finessed, they got robbed, they got fleeced, because they were receiving a young shooting guard in Zach LaVine who just tore his ACL. And that was an extremely risky move because Zach was supposed to be the biggest, most important asset for the Bulls out of this trade. Let's talk about the other guard that they acquired, Chris Dunn. I'm not gonna lie, I thought this man was gonna be a straight up bust because coming into the NBA, he was supposed to be one of the more NBA ready prospects, and he really wasn't supposed to struggle his rookie year, but he did. So the Bulls give up Butler for an injured Zach LaVine. Woo! Whoa! Who robbed my sunlight? Damn! That shit got black as hell! So the Bulls give up Jimmy Butler for an injured Zach LaVine, Chris Dunn, and the 7th pick in the 2017 NBA draft. A pick that nobody thought much of. But this package that the Bulls received, little do they know, is gonna be what puts them back on the map again. I'm pretty confident in saying this, y'all. I seriously believe all 3 of their guys have potential to become at least all-stars in the NBA. And I believe 2 of them actually have superstar potential. Larry Markkinen, that dude has a chance to become a top 4-3 power forward in the NBA one day. He's a 7-foot big who has a strong athletic build and a burner on his right arm that stretches out to the 3-point line. Larry has serious potential of becoming the best big man shooter in the NBA. His high release is almost never bothered by defenders. So yeah, although his shooting is superb and outstanding, he has the potential to become much more than just a shooter. He ain't your typical stretch 4. He's athletic, he's built, and he's actually pretty mobile on the basketball court for his size. On multiple occasions also, he's shown an ability to put the ball on the floor and attack the defense by driving to the rim if he's not pulling up for a 3. So now that I told you guys about him offensively, I know some of you guys may be wondering, how was he on the defensive end? You know, Larry isn't actually that bad of a defender. You would expect him to be a complete liability at that end of the floor, but he's actually really not. Larry can hold his own for the most part. I'm not saying that he's elite at that end or anything. He does tend to get lost on the basketball court defensively once in a while too, but nevertheless, he's still got that superstar potential. Chris Dunn, the dude I had no hope for, he's actually a great all-around point guard. The only real thing he struggles with on the court is shooting. His jump shot is still in progress, but every other aspect of his game is already there. He's a great playmaker, he has good court vision, and Chris also doesn't have a problem creating his own shot and driving to the rim. So he's pretty good offensively, and he's also good defensively as well. If Chris can add a consistent jumper to his game, then I think he has a pretty good chance to be an all-star point guard in the East one day. So now let's hop on to their best player, Zach LaVine. My boy is gonna be a surefire all-star, and maybe even a superstar eventually. He got all the tools to do so. He has a smooth jumper, he has crazy athleticism and explosiveness, and he also has a quick first step. The only real knock anyone can have against Zach LaVine is his defense. My boy is god-awful at that end of the floor, but I still believe he has top 10 player in the NBA type of potential. With his shooting ability and explosiveness, he'd be a great second option on a championship level team. Some of y'all forget that Zach LaVine was averaging nearly 20 points a game as a 3rd option back in Minnesota. So next year possibly, or the year after that, I can see LaVine averaging 25 points per game on a winning Bulls team. Those are the 3 players that the Bulls have that could become all-stars and possible superstars superstars one day. Two of them for sure are going to be all-stars, Zach LaVine and Lauri Markkanen. Now in this year's draft, the Bulls also have another opportunity to take a special player. And that special player that they might take could turn out to be Micheal Porter Jr. The Bulls have already made it public that they want Micheal Porter Jr. They and all their fans want him badly. So if MPJ ends up getting drafted by the Bulls and turns out to be what he's advertised as, the Bulls offensively are going to be unstoppable. I don't know any team in the NBA that could come up with a game plan to slow down Lauri Markkanen, Zach LaVine, and Micheal Porter Jr. That's just too much offensive versatility and too much firepower. Hey man, if the Bulls turn out to be a powerhouse in the East alongside the Philadelphia 76ers, the Milwaukee Bucks, and of course the Boston Celtics, don't be surprised, alright? So let's move on to the second team on this list, the Sacramento Kings.
Hell no.
I've been wanting to talk about the Kings for a minute now, because I believe since they let go of DeMarcus Cousins, they've had one of the better rebuilds in the NBA. This team is stacked with young talent and hella potential. First, let's talk about their guy, the 5th pick in the 2017 NBA draft, De'Aaron Fox. The 6'3" point guard averaged 11 points and 4 assists in his rookie year, so he didn't really have any eye-popping stats. But De'Aaron Fox has shown multiple flashes of stardom in just his rookie year. A lot of people really didn't notice this, but De'Aaron Fox has proven to us that he got that clutch gene in his blood. And this is something that we do not see in most rookies. That is not normal. De'Aaron Fox got the speed, athleticism, finishing ability, and court vision to be great in the NBA. To be honest, man, I'm not even gassing De'Aaron up. But if he can get a consistent, reliable jumper, I can see him easily becoming a top 4, top 3 point guard in the NBA. So now that we spoke on De'Aaron, let's get to talking about his teammates, who I believe has been slept on as well. Bogdanovic, the 25-year-old rookie. He played overseas for a minute now, but he's finally made his transition into the NBA. This dude is a real quality player. His potential and ceiling may not be that high since he's like 25 years old already, but he's still a very valuable player. And I can see him averaging something like 18, 5, and 5 one day as a third option on a championship level team. He's already a really polished offensive player. He can shoot with the best of them. He's a dependable defender, and he's a slightly above average playmaker. You know, he's a really nice quality piece. And he's gonna be on the Kings alongside De'Aaron Fox for a very, very long time. Now let's talk about the rest of these guys. He's a good player, and he has shown the potential that he could be a starter one day. But I just don't know if he could take Bogdan's spot. The only thing Heels might be better at than Bogdan is shooting. And if he is, it ain't by a lot. The Kings have other interesting pieces as well, like Scala Bicier and Harry Giles. I can't say too much about those two yet. Just know that they have a really strong chance of becoming great in this league too. Scala is 21 years old and Harry Giles is just 20. A lot of people sleep on those two, but I'm not gonna say too much about them just yet. So De'Aaron Fox and Bogdanovic are currently the two heads of this franchise. But with that second pick in the 2018 NBA draft, assuming they take Luka Doncic, they could create a three-headed monster of De'Aaron Fox, Bogdanovic, and Luka Doncic. This trio right here would do serious damage in the NBA for many years to come. Out of the three, De'Aaron is the best finisher and the better athlete, Bogdan is the better shooter, and Luka is the best passer, and he also has the highest IQ. And I can see Luka and De'Aaron Fox being the primary ball handlers for this team. I'm telling y'all, man, if the Kings take Luka, they're gonna be insanely good and really fun to watch. They all complement each other's strengths and weaknesses, and the combination of speed, shooting, athleticism, and multiple excellent facilitators is a recipe for a potent, dominant, fast-paced style of play. Them Bulls would basically have two starting point guards in their starting lineup. If you didn't know already, the point guard position is Luka's natural position, but he's kinda too big to actually play the one because he isn't quick enough to guard opposing ones in the NBA. But since he's 6'8", he's able to play the small forward or shooting guard position, and he can become the primary or secondary ball handler for the Kings. And that right there is what's going to elevate the Kings. If we look at the top teams in the NBA right now, excluding the Cleveland Cavaliers, all these successful teams have more than one ball handler in their starting lineup. The Rockets got 2, CP and Harden. The Warriors got 3, of course, Draymond, Curry, and KD. The Boston Celtics freaking have 3 as well. So adding Luka is going to transform their offense, and they'd mix really well together, and they'd create a fast pace and space type of play style, since they have a plethora of guards who can shoot and handle the ball. And plus, just imagine all the lobs that they can throw to their athletic bigs. Luka to Harry Giles, De'Aaron Fox to Scala Bicier, Bogdan to Willie Cauley-Stein. Don't sleep on the Sacramento Kings. Now, with all of that being said, I know some of y'all think I'm tripping, and it's okay if you think I am, but I'm just gonna let you know, you sleep. And when the Kings turn out to be fine in a few years to come back to the video and remember who let you know first. But this is the end of the video, man. Let me know what you guys think. I appreciate you for watching. What other teams are going under the radar with their rebuild? Let me know what you think. But yeah, man, like I said, this is the end of the video, man. I appreciate you for watching, and I get right with you.
No way, no way.
Remember back when I couldn't get a play, yeah. No home, I ain't have a place to stay, yeah. I got to work, made the surf free the way, yeah. Told my girl who'd ever